Thank grandmas for a great recipe.
Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we are going to make my grandma's goulash, and we're going to make a crusty Dutch oven garlic bread. So if you're ready for a nice 30-minute or less meal besides rise time with the Dutch oven bread, stay tuned. Thank you for joining, by the way. Sorry, wardrobe change. I should call this episode with menopause in the kitchen. Oh my goodness, it's no joke, right? So, what we need to make our goulash is we are going to need elbow macaroni. You could use rigatoni. You could really use anything that you have in your kitchen. It will be fine. I am using New York cheddar, extra sharp. And then I'm going to use 3/4 of this white onion or yellow onion, 2 cans of mushrooms, 1 pound of ground beef, and I'm going to be using 2 cups to 2.5 cups of tomato sauce. You can use the canned ones that you get at the store, or if you have it canned up, you can use that as well. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start chopping up our cheese and our onion. And when we cook our ground beef, we will add our salt, pepper, and our onion to cook down with our ground beef. And all right, let's go. Okay friends, so I've already cubed up 2.5 cups of New York sharp cheddar cheese. And now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut up 3/4 of this large onion. Now that we have 3/4 of our onion cut up, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this on medium heat, and we're gonna brown our ground beef and our saute our onions with the meat at the same time. So we got our onions and our ground beef in here, and I'm just gonna saute and cook this and all up together, brown it up all together. And our water has come to a boil, so we are going to go ahead and we are going to add half of this. It's a double box, so it would just be 1 box of elbow macaroni if that's what you have. I just bought a large size, so I'm gonna use half of this. And we're only gonna cook this to just about cooked. So like if it says 7 minutes on your box until cooked, we're going to do it for 3.5, because it's going to cook a little bit more and soak in our homemade tomato sauce. A little bit of flavoring to the meat. I'm going to add garlic salt, about a teaspoon. I'm going to add parsley, a teaspoon, and I'm also going to add onion salt. We're going to go ahead and give this a nice stir, and then we're going to move on to draining this because it's already been boiling, and we have about 2 minutes left. And then we're going to start assembling the goulash. I've already placed the oven, like I said, at 375, and we will cook it for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay friends, and our meat and our onion mixture is all browned up and looking scrumptious. Let me grab this to set this down. And now we're going to assemble our goulash. Okay, just pop the lid. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to go ahead and add some of our noodles down to the bottom of our pan. Sorry about that. We are then going to pour some of our tomato sauce down into the bottom of our casserole dish. We're going to go ahead and then add a layer of our meat and onion. We're also then going to add some of our cheese. And I forgot to drain these, so we need to add a can of drained mushrooms. I'm using the whole mushrooms. I usually only use the sliced and stemmed, but this is what I had, and it'll be the same. The ones that don't like mushrooms will be like, ew, and pick them out, and the ones that like them are gonna be like, oh yeah, I get a bigger mushroom, you know? And then we're gonna go ahead and add some more of our tomato sauce. And then we're just gonna keep repeating those layers until we have everything inside of our dish, our casserole dish. Okay, now we're gonna add foil to the top of this, and then we're gonna place it in the oven, and then about 20 minutes into cooking it, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the foil off of it and brown up the noodles a little bit. This woman is seriously having hot flashes in this kitchen today. Oh my gravy. Chemical menopause was introduced 4 years ago, and it hasn't got any better. I don't know when it will, but I'll let you know if you're interested. I'm telling you what, if that pool was still full, I'd be jumping in it right now. I've got a little lazy on the outside chores. I did start picking up some of my garden, but I really need to get out there, and today would be a perfect day to do so because, believe it or not, it is like 69 degrees or something like that. Alexa, what's the temperature today?
Right now, it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 50 degrees.
71 degrees. Thank you. God giving me that little extra boost to be like, it's not vacation time yet. Winter's not here. You have a lot more yet to do outside. But okay, friends. So for our crusty Italian Dutch oven bread, boy, is that a mouthful. I already made it. I added 3.5 cups of bread flour, 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast. I used 1 tablespoon of sugar. I also added a half of a tablespoon of garlic powder to the mixture, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to let this rise in a nice warm area for 3 to 4 hours. Then once it's about halfway done, we'll take that Dutch oven lid off of it. We'll pour our melted concoction over top of it, which is going to be super yummy. And I'll show you how to make that once we get to that point. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for your support with my channel. Thank you for showing up. If you're new here, welcome aboard. We appreciate you. We did so many fun things. It was a jam-packed weekend. I did a little self-care. I cut about 4 inches off of my hair and fixed my layers. I roasted pumpkin seeds for the first time. Elijah and I carved pumpkins. Jason was not into it just yet, but he plans on doing it. We went to a family trick-or-treat party, Halloween party, and it was so much fun being around a whole bunch of family. We went on another hayride. They had a candy blaster, and it just blasted candy all over the place for the kids, and we all got into little sections, and they went around and they did a safe trick-or-treat. It was a lot of fun. And then Sunday was jam-packed as well. We drove into Michigan and we did a few things there and visited a few people, and that was great as well. Yeah, so I hope that you guys had a productive, busy weekend. Sorry that I was one upload short last week. I normally upload anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week because I just love doing it and I love interacting with you guys. If you haven't yet, I have a Facebook group that is called Seeds to Sanctuary. I'll leave a link. You can communicate with me every day on that if you'd wish. I'd love to reach out and hear from you guys. So I'll add that either in the comment sections or figure out how to put it in a card either here or there or wherever it is up here. But Mandy's doing well, by the way. So yes, I mean it's good. It's a good life. I mean, there's always things, negativity that tries to come in and beat you down. And as long as you know who you are and you are grounded in that, your life truly does become a lot more happier, and things are a lot easier to brush off if they're not meant to be, you know? So I don't even know why I even said all that. This is a cooking, gardening, and crafting channel, not so much life advice. Maybe I should start a podcast about that, not sure. But I'll catch back with you guys in about 25 minutes, and when it's time to put our Dutch oven bread in the oven, and then we'll start making our buttery garlic topping that we'll be pouring over the Dutch oven bread to make it garlic. So see you in a little bit. So I only uploaded once last week. I was just really needed some mental health days. I went and did some time with my cousin. I spent some time driving to West Virginia to be with my cousin while she was having back surgery. I also have talked about it on this channel that I have depression and anxiety, and you know, it hits you sometimes, and just I have been learning in order to take care of myself and do everything that I want to do or that I need to do as a wife and a mother and a friend and a cousin, and a list goes on and on and on and on. I need to make sure that I fill my cup, because I love sharing from myself when I can, but I have to remember to fill my cup. So yeah, last week was a little So if any of you guys were feeling that way, you're not alone. Like I said, go ahead and message me on Facebook. I put the link somewhere. And let's build a group there as well. We can share daily meals that we're planning, or you can get tips and tricks on fast, quick meals. It's a lot easier for me to put shorter content onto Facebook than it is to YouTube right now. So, all right, that stuff, the goulash, should be coming out anytime, and I am grabbing some caffeine. Mama needs it. Mama needs it. Okay guys, it's been 25 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our goulash out of the oven, give it a stir, and put it back in there for another 5 or 6 minutes. So I just wanted to show you how delicious this looks already. I mean, oh my goodness. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stir this up. Alrighty friends, our goulash is ready to come out of the oven. Okay, so we just took this beautiful goulash out of the oven, and we're going to up our temperature to 425 and preheat our Dutch oven, and then we're going to put our bread in there, score it up, and I'll show you why, or tell you why here in a second. And then when the bread's about almost done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our topping. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dice up my garlic and get it ready for our butter mixture. Grandma would be proud. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to preheat my Dutch oven. And now let's start mincing up some of our garlic. So I'm probably going to use about a good 3 garlic heads for this recipe. So the reason why I am just dicing it up and I'm not roasting it firsthand is because when we pour the butter mixture with this garlic and everything else, brush it on top, pour it on top, our crusty Italian bread, it will roast and brown on the top of it, because we'll still have about 15 minutes before our bread will be done when we put this on. So I don't want it to get over roasted, lose any of its flavor, or for it to change too much of the flavor. So we're just going to go ahead, dice this wonderful garlic up. I'm so happy that this year I got my garlic planted in time. I'm also going to plant onion bulbs. I think I'm going to do that later on today. I've been doing research. Some people say start them by seed, Brooke, and some people say start them by bulb, Brooke, and I did seeds and bulbs, but the only difference is I didn't start the bulbs the season before like I'm going to try this year. I'd like to get bigger onions, and that's what we're going to attempt to do, but everything is a learning curve, and I'm down for learning. So that looks like a whole lot of garlic. Don't be intimidated. Okay, we're also going to add a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of Italian herbs and blend. Just a little bit of dry herbs. I'm going to add parsley. Y'all know how much I love parsley. I'm going to add a little bit more garlic to it. I'm going to add some garlic powder, about a half of a tablespoon. And then when it gets closer to time, we're going to add 3/4 of our stick. We're going to stick this straight into the microwave. We're going to melt the butter with all of our stuff, give it a stir, and pour it over top of our crusty Italian Dutch bread. See you soon. Just look at this scrumptious goulash, friends. I really hope you enjoy the recipe. I can't wait to dig into it. It might be a little hard to wait for dinner time. Boy, does it look so good. Okay, friends, I had to dish myself some up. I couldn't wait. It was too yummy. And it tastes just as good as it ever has. Maybe even a little bit better, because I made the sauce from scratch and I grew the onions, so yeah. Thank grandmas for great recipes, you know? Okay, friends, so our bread has come to a rise. I'm going to go ahead and put it in a dough form, and I'm going to cut the top of it, which I'll show you, in 4 different directions. So there'll be beautiful little crevices caused after it's been cooking from the cuts for all the garlic and the butter to seep down into. It's delicious, trust me. Put it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes, but about 10 minutes before it's done, we're going to take the lid off. We're going to take the lid off and pour our butter herb mix over on top of it. All right, friends, so our bread is in the oven, and I have now a new mountain of dishes to wash. So I'll see you in about 25-30 minutes, and we'll check to see if it's ready to start browning, and take the top off of our Dutch oven and pour our mixture on and put it in there for a little bit more, and then our meal will be complete. After you've mixed your butter and herb mixture, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take it and we're going to pour it over our bread. Once we've spread it all over, we're going to go ahead and put our Dutch oven back into our oven for another 15 to 20 minutes until this is golden brown. Okay, friends, look at this beautiful meal we made. We made cast iron, crunchy Italian garlic bread, and we made my grandma's goulash. I really hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Thank you once again for coming along on my journey of homesteading, gardening, crafting, and cooking. I appreciate every single one of you. And until next time, when I'm going to try to make apple turnovers and mini pot pies for the first time. See you next time, and bye for now.